Hey, how's it going, everyone? Seafood Dax here. So today's video, I got a question by my buddy Justin, who brought a very interesting question regarding if I had heard that Bruce Lee was not fond of Filipino martial arts, if this is true or not. Now, based on my background, everything I've studied, I believe that this rumor is actually stemming from an interview in which Danny Nasanto did, and the interviewer asked him, what did Bruce Lee think of Filipino martial arts and had he ever studied it? Now I'm going to include the video link below so you guys can watch for yourself, but I'm going to paraphrase it here. He basically says that yes, Bruce Lee did train in it for some time, and that he told Dan the things he liked about it, but he definitely told him the stuff that he did not like about it. Okay? So this leads a lot of people to think that he just studied it because it looked cool on camera and to incorporate it into his movies, but it wasn't really something he was fond of. Now, here's my answer. If you look at Bruce Lee's writings, particularly in this Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do commentary book, there's a section here in which Bruce goes over the pros and cons of every martial arts background, even street fighters, traditional martial artists, judo, wrestling. He lists the pros and cons of just about everything here. You know what I mean? Obviously, wrestling, he talks about the ground fighting. Boxing, he talks about footwork and economy of motion, right? But when it gets into Western fencing, he only lists the pros of it. He does not list a con, right? And he talks about all three weapons there, that they're all pros. So, to me, that's very interesting. And, the people who have taken some Jeet Kune Do, whether it's JKD originals or Jeet Kune Do concepts, we all know about the importance of the straight lead. And what I think the issue probably that stems, or the mindset of Bruce Lee was very pro straight attacks and intercepting attacks, and that straight often be straight attacks such as your jabs and your cross often beat circular attacks because of economy of motion. So in that sense, I think Bruce Lee was more fond of the French style fencing, such as épée, foil, saber as well. But remember that Filipino martial arts comes from Spanish saber, and even some earlier destreza with transitional rapier was brought into the Philippines. And in those systems, it's more circular footwork and more circular attacks as well, and angular attacks. Whereas the French, it's angles too, but it's a lot more linear in its approach. So that's my opinion. I think that Bruce Lee did see value in just about every martial art. Some martial arts more than others, obviously. But the importance is the essence of the art. And, things like boxing, wrestling, judo, fencing. In these days, for Bruce, it was something that you actually had sparring in. And that's the real value of what Bruce Lee saw in these different arts. It was things like timing, distance, footwork, resistance. So if you practice the art of the Philippines, whether it's Eskrima, Arnis, or Kali, with actual pressure testing, actual resistance, timing, footwork, then that's when you actually get good. I think most people realize that. So that's my personal opinion. And tell me what you think below. If you like the video, go ahead, press like. If you have more information, go ahead, let us know. I'm going to include the link for Daniel Santos' interview, and I'll give you the exact time frame in which he gets that.